Hello everybody, Auvbri here. Welcome back to another speed build on the channel. So today we are doing another remake in The Sims 4. We're doing the Brook Bungalow. So this is located in what is the Willow Creek? Yeah, that's the name, Willow Creek. So I'm doing this thing on live streams. So we're both doing the Croft Manor remake, but we're also doing the rebuild The Sims 4. So I'm just going over world by world, trying to remake every single thing. There is just one rule though. I have to keep somewhat the original style in mind, and I also have to only use the pack from which that world came from. So I can use base game and then the pack in which that world came from. In this case, we are in base game world, so I can only use base game items, which limits a lot of what I can actually do, which is the whole thing. It makes it very difficult, and it makes it super fun because it's a challenge, and I love that. So I look at this house and I was like, it's just very beige, very sad looking, and I really wanted to spruce it up a bit. So there was these columns. I knew they had this beautiful green color, and I also knew that the foundation had this green tone to it. So I actually took that color, ran with it, introduced some brick to the outside. We're gonna introduce a slightly different color scheme as well to the inside, but I also introduced some new balconies as well. Not that they're actually usable. Most of them are still usable, but some of them are not. They're just for decorational purpose outside only. I changed out the roofing pieces so they actually matched everything. And then we're gonna go in. So I still wanted to have the wood trim on the house as it was before. I still used somewhat the same basic windows as before. So the whole thing with this makeover series, the remake The Sims 4, is just basically I'm trying to use the same items. I'm trying to always see if I can use the same item but somehow recolor them, reuse them in some way. So that's the same thing I did here. I introduced a bit more windows, but they're the same windows. I just recolored them. So think of it as a kind of a makeover instead of a remake. So I'm still using the same fundamental things. I mean, it's just introducing some new things, some new spaces, some new color schemes as well. Also with the whole garden area here, I wanted to have multiple entrances. So I actually took the porch that wrapped around the whole thing, introduced a new staircase down, and then there was another way here that you could get into the garden, and I thought that was really clever. Also just because I also moved the house a bit to the one side to get more space, and I thought that just having multiple ways to come into the garden was a smart idea. And then introduce some more plants. Again, this is all base game, so it was very difficult, but with the debug mode and the live edit modes, it is definitely a lot easier to introduce plants into the landscaping aspect of it, because there's just so much more plants now. And that's also why I'm really stoked on rebuilding these houses now, because when they introduced the live edit mode and all of the live objects from that mode into the game again, it just gave so much opportunity. Like, it created it paved the way for lots of new items to come into the game that we can now use, and I love that. I absolutely love that. So going into the build here, I knew I wanted to keep, like, okay, so every single room is basically placed in the same way. I just teeny tiny bit created a new layout for the downstairs here. So the dining room is in exactly the same place, but again, everything in here was just beige, and I hate that color. I think it washes everything out. So I actually took somewhat the same wallpaper as I could find that the house was originally in, and I just recolored it into this lovely mint green color. It's very muted, it's very pastel, but you still have this beautiful trim at the bottom, this beautiful trim at the top. It looked gorgeous. I was like, okay, so this is definitely what we're going for. And then I also wanted to have a new flooring. It's the same flooring as before, it's just painted white. To fit the whole new style that I was trying to introduce in here. But it's actually just a lot of me recoloring things, trying to figure out how can I place these things in new ways so it actually makes sense. And this is what we came up with. I also, the downstairs bathroom, I had to change the layout of that because with the new layout of the kitchen and the dining room here, the doorway into the bathroom just wouldn't fit in that space anymore. So I had to introduce a new way to get into the bathroom. So you have to go through the kitchen, but I feel like that's more of a kind of quarters guest thing bathroom because there's one upstairs as well. And also going into the living room here, all the beige. It was just, I was trying to really, when I was sitting down, I made the deepest sigh in the world, and Maz was just like, what is wrong? Is everything okay? Because he thought something was wrong with the computer or the game. Sometimes the game crashes for me, don't know why. It's been 7 years, still no fix, but it's okay. And I was like, no, nothing happened. It's just, I don't know what to do with this house. Like, it's horrible. I don't, the color scheme, everything is beige. I'm trying to reuse items. I'm trying to do a new thing, but still keep the spirit of the old one. It's just a very difficult house to build for. So what we actually did in here in the living room, I just started coloring stuff. I changed the color scheme to a more of a, what shall we call it, white cream color with the green accents in here. And I think it turned out so good in here. Like, I'm super happy about how it turned out. In my opinion, I think it turned out so much better. And I'm not just saying that because I honestly do think it turned out better. It's a more of a neutral layout now. It's not so cluttered. The color scheme is also more welcoming. There's just something about that beige. For me, it ruins stuff. I just don't like it. It's, no matter what I try to do with the beige colors in this game, in my real life as well, I just don't love it. It's just bad. Like, it's so bad. The kitchen as well, it's the same kitchen as before. I just recolored it into this dark kitchen instead. We rearranged some of the stuff because we had to. I also gave new windows in here because the big ones didn't work. The smaller ones fit better. Upstairs, master bedroom here. It got a little bigger because of the add-ons to the build itself, but it's just, there were some of the rooms up here that I didn't actually do too much to because I actually thought they were really good. You just needed to recolor some things and rearrange some stuff, and then everything was good. So this build is not actually something that I did on live stream. It's something that we also do on live streams, rebuilding the Sims walls. But I've just been in this crazy building mood lately, where it's like in 1 week I created 11 builds or something like that. It was insane. Also because there's a lot of new PlayStation games coming out that I also want to play. So it's just like a win-win situation for me that I'm in a great building mood, but I also have this game coming out that's going to take up a lot of time. So it's just win for everybody. You guys get lots of build videos and content on the channel. I get to do what I love and also get to play PlayStation games. So it's just good for everybody. Here we have the screenshots. I think it turned out really good. Again, for me, this whole build, the dining room and living space here just is the makeover for me. It really brightened up everything, and it turned out so good. I'm super happy with it. Also, just the color scheme change from this beige brown color to this more of a muted cream colored and with the pastel greens as well. I think it turned out so good. This build is on the gallery right now. You can go search it. Just search my origin ID, exactly like the channel name here, and you're gonna find every single thing I've ever done. Also, hit me up in the comment section down below. Tell me what you thought about this remake of the house. Do you like it? Don't you like it? While you're down there, why not click the like button and hit that subscribe? Helps me out a great big deal. And if you hit the notification bell as well, you'll also get notified every single time I upload to the channel or go live on the channel. It's really the best way for you to keep up to date with what's going on the channel in general. But tell me again what you thought about it down in the comment section below. I really want to thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time for another video, and have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, guys. Bye.